Here is the mid-month market report. We're going to cobble some numbers together for you, but keep in mind, we are 2 weeks out from Category 4 hurricane that rocked our world. So real estate sales are, number one, not on track. Number two, anything that was under contract that was meant to close has now had to be ordered for a reinspection, either by the buyer, forced by the insurance company, or forced by the lender. So anything that was supposed to close anytime within the last 2 weeks and probably even next week is not going to close on time until all of those things get done in a row. So first things first. If you are looking for a vacation rental, let me tell you, it was tough before. Tens of thousands of people lost their homes, and it's going to be even tougher. My phone rings 10 times a day looking for rentals. I do not do rentals. I wasn't doing them before the hurricane, and I am certainly not doing them now. If I was doing them, I'd put my own family in rentals. We lost 4 homes in our family to flood, so we are also dealing the same fight that other people are dealing with. What the first thing you need to know is, when I logged in to check to see what was going on with Bonita Springs and Estero real estate priced under $400,000, here's what it showed. We have 7 single-family homes available, 3 villas, 3 townhomes. Now, townhomes are where you get into steps. We have 47 low-rise condos. Those could also be 1-bedroom condos. Of those, only 23 of them are actually ground floor. So if you need to be on the ground floor for whatever reason, only 23 of those. It is a very competitive market. Real estate is selling very quickly. There are a lot of people displaced from their homes who have decided to purchase or rent something very inexpensively, so it has just sucked all the air out of the room. So if you're waiting to come to Florida this winter to buy real estate and you thought that the whole buyers or sellers market was over, it never really was over, and now you've got actual homeowners competing with you to find a place for them to live in. So it's really an odd market for us to be in. We're, like I said, we're going to have a skip in the numbers this month because it was just devastating what has happened here in a lot of the coastal part of Bonita Springs. But we will probably get our feet back going forward over the next month or so, most especially with all of these other people who are partially displaced, some of them permanently displaced, looking at buying real estate. Now, most importantly, cars. If you're needing a car down here, if you're coming from somewhere else, bring a car. I'm just telling you that right now. We probably had, from one person told me 50,000 cars from one particular tow truck company. And I don't know how much that spanned, what area that spanned. I can tell you that if I go out to the street corner and just sit there, I can see tow trucks, one hauling a car on top, one pulling it. They're just everywhere. I've never seen so many tow trucks in my life because all of these homes had many cars, some of them 2 or more. I live on a street with only 15 homes. They're still pulling cars out. I didn't even know these people own this many cars. The cars are totaled as soon as the water hits them. I mean, they've gone under. The next thing that we're having happen is some of these battery-powered cars, because of salt and brackish water, are bursting into flames. So there's a little known thing for people that are moving to Florida. I know some people want to have a hybrid car. Some people are really enamored by Teslas. And Teslas are burning their houses down after their houses flood. So it's just something for you to know about. Now, going forward, if you are looking at buying real estate down in Bonita Springs or Estero, Florida this winter, here's what we're telling you. Please sign up for a strategy session. You need a strategy more so than you ever did, because you are not just dealing with snowbirds as your competition, you're dealing with people who live here, and it is tough. And you also need to really be on top of your game with regard to insurance, and have a really great inspection team to look for any of this hurricane damage. The crew that I recommend and I've used for my own purchasing and selling also does thermal imaging, which is a way for them to see water damage and to see electrical issues because it senses all these temperature changes. I just had them re-inspect a property for me that was supposed to close in a couple weeks, and since it's gone through a Cat 4 and every other home was flooded on the street, we called for our inspection. We got that inspection underway. They went through it with a fine-tooth comb with their water meter moisture, checking for moisture, with thermal imaging, looking for water damage. This house actually didn't take on water. It blew our minds. There wasn't even a screen blowout. You just don't know. one house to the next, different circumstances. There could have been like a little, like maybe a tornado or something, but some of them built a little higher than others, didn't get a drop of water in them. So let us know how we can schedule a strategy session with you so that you can make sure that you have all of these best next steps laid out before you get here, so that you're buying a good piece of real estate, that you have a team set up that can properly inspect it, so that we can talk to insurance brokers to make sure that, number one, the home is insurable, number two, that you can afford the insurance, number three, that you can obtain flood insurance if this is something that's on your mind or heart. It's really a challenging market before the storm, and now you're going to need an A-list player to get you over the finish line if your goal is to live in real estate in Southwest Florida. So make sure you click the link to schedule a free strategy session. Usually these phone calls can take 15 minutes to however long you need. And that is, number one, to go over any of the questions you have. But number two, really drill down to make sure we're getting you the properties in the neighborhoods that's not just fit your lifestyle, but your long-term holding costs. We're dealing with folks who are retiring. We have a lot of folks who just retire here, and they may not be a married couple. Some of them just move here solely, and they want to make sure that their financial plan is set and solid, and there are no unexpected financial surprises. And that's what we specialize in, is making sure people find the property that they need and that they don't have to sell it a few years down the road because they maybe outspent what their budget was going to be. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. If you have any pointed questions about neighborhoods down here that you'd like to learn more about, let us know. We'd be happy to give you some feedback on how they handled surge and how they handled the windstorm.